Hey everyone, and a big welcome to all you future language teachers out there. Today, we're going to dive into something that I think is one of the most important parts of teaching English. Why is it that our students can know all the grammar rules, but still just not sound quite right? We're going to uncover the hidden rules of the game that really make English communication work. You've been there, right? A student comes up with a sentence and you check it off. Yep, subject, verb, object, it's perfect. But you know deep down that in a real conversation, it would just sound weird. It's the super common puzzle that we all face. And today, we're going to find the missing pieces. And that's just it, isn't it? Grammar gives us the building blocks, absolutely. But it doesn't teach us how to actually use them in real-life situations. I love this analogy. Knowing grammar is like knowing all the rules of chess. But that's totally different from knowing how to play the game and win. It's all about strategy and context and who you're talking to.
So to really get a handle on this game, we need to talk about two key concepts, function and exponent. Seriously, think of these as your secret decoder ring for communication. Let's break them down.
And you know what? It's actually a lot simpler than it sounds. The function is just the why. It's your purpose, your reason for opening your mouth. The exponent, on the other hand, is the what. It's the actual words, the language you choose to get that why across. And here's the magic part. One why can have a whole bunch of different whats.
So the official definition says it all. A function is simply the reason you're using language. Are you trying to make a suggestion? Are you giving a friend some advice? Or maybe you're just complaining about the weather. That goal, that purpose, that's the function.
Okay, let's make this super concrete with an example. Picture this. Your friend turns to you and says, "Let's go to the cinema tonight." Now, the words themselves, that phrase, that's our exponent. But what are they really doing? What's their purpose?
Bingo! They're making a suggestion. And this is where it all clicks into place. You've got one single function, suggesting. But look at all these different ways to say it. Let's go. Shall we go? How about? These are all different exponents, different chunks of language that achieve the exact same function.
All right, now this is where it gets really cool. The link between the words someone says and what they actually mean, well, it isn't always a straight line. In fact, it can change completely based on one single, hugely important thing: context. You know, context is pretty much everything. It's the whole situation. Who's talking? Who are they talking to? Where are they? What's happening around them? All of that background info is the key that unlocks the true function, the real meaning behind the words. All right, check this out. Just 3 little words. I'm so tired. Seems simple, right? It's just a statement of fact. But what's the speaker really saying? What's the function? Well, as you're about to see, it completely depends on the context. And boom. This is where you see the absolute power of context. If a patient says, "I'm so tired" to their doctor, the function is pretty clear. They're describing a symptom, a physical state. But if a kid says those exact same words to their parent at 10 o'clock at night while they're surrounded by homework, the function is totally different. It's a request. It means, "Can I please stop doing this and go to sleep now?" Same exponents, 2 completely different functions. Okay, so we've got our purpose, the function, and we've got our words, the exponent. And we know that context is the bridge between them. But how do we help our students choose the right exponent for the right context? Well, that brings us to 2 more really important ideas. And that is where register and appropriacy come into play. Register is just how formal or informal your language is. I mean, you don't talk to your boss the same way you talk to your best friend, right? And appropriacy is all about choosing language that is suitable for that situation. It's about being polite, and it's about being socially smart. This formality ladder is a perfect way to see this in action. Let's say the function is inviting someone to lunch. At the very top, for a business client, you'd use a super formal exponent. "We would be pleased if you could join us." But for a new colleague, something more neutral and friendly is better. "Why don't you come for lunch?" And for a close friend you see every day, just one word does the trick: lunch. See? One function, 3 different exponents, and each one is only appropriate in a specific context. So what's the big takeaway here for your classroom? How do we actually use these ideas to help our students? Well, the most crucial point is this. We have to shift from teaching just the rules to teaching them how to actually play the game of communication. So what can you actually do? Here are the big takeaways. First, think bigger. Teach communication, not just how to build a sentence. Role plays are your best friend here. They let students practice different contexts safely. And talk about formality. Help them build their own little formality ladders.
always be asking, okay, but what's the purpose here? And a huge one, teach phrases and chunks like how about or would you mind if I, not just single vocabulary words. You see, when we teach functions, exponents, context, and register, we give our students the power to go beyond just knowing English. We empower them to actually use it effectively, appropriately, and with real confidence. So I'm going to leave you with this little challenge. What's one function, maybe apologizing or requesting or giving advice, that you can take into your classroom and teach tomorrow?